The 2025 Blame Stakes, a Grade 3 race for the 4-year-olds and up, takes place this Saturday at Churchill Downs, a mile and an eighth out there on the dirt with a $275,000 purse. It's one of the key preps for the Stephen Foster. We're going to see MYSTIK Dan out there, Banishing, and this seems to be a little bit of a good rival we've got going on, Caleb.
I mean, Banishing just keeps on running huge race after huge race. We were talking earlier today in our pre-production meeting about MYSTIK Dan. I'm really fascinated to see how the betting public receives MYSTIK Dan. Part of me thinks they're thinking, that Derby was, I don't want to say a one-off, but maybe the bettors have doubts about MYSTIK Dan, or it's the Derby winner at Churchill Downs. I mean, how can they not want to play MYSTIK Dan? So I'm really curious before the race even starts to see how they bet MYSTIK Dan. And here he was. We were worrying that MYSTIK Dan might just never get back on the beam. I mean, he had 3 really bad races in a row. But here's a good race. Now, he runs second to Saudi Crown. The Gray has had the lead turning for homes 6 times in his life. He won 5 of those, has only lost a nose to Forte. This Gray is hard to pass down the lane. And MYSTIK Dan looked to actually have the win here at the wire, but if he had to trade, I'm sure he'll gladly keep that nose victory in the Derby and not this race. But 101 buyer, Meghan, tied for his best ever. Maybe the Derby champ is back.
MYSTIK Dan will be running again today at Churchill Downs. That is on Saturday. Going to be going against Banishing, the 8-horse for Flavien Prat, who's been on quite the run right now. So let's look at Banishing here at the Oaklawn Mile.
My gosh, he had a great Oaklawn. He wins a big allowance, then he wins the stakes, then he just got beat in the Razorback, then he wins the Oaklawn Mile, then right here, it was a heck of an effort to finish second in the Oaklawn Handicap, but this was his win over the aforementioned Saudi Crown. We mentioned it's hard to pass this horse down the lane, and he did just that. So, Banishing, I was super impressed with that second in the Churchill Handicap. I feel like at some point, Banishing's got to get tired. He just keeps on giving these A races since going back to last summer with no layoff, but keeps on putting those efforts forward with Flavien Prat aboard.
But, I feel like we keep talking MYSTIK Dan, Banishing. Those are the 2 names when we're looking at the Blame Stakes for this weekend. But what about Most Wanted, the 7-horse?
Most Wanted is the younger brother to Life is Good, and you know how good Life is Good was, and this was a heck of a race. I had been waiting like a month to bet Most Wanted in this race. He was second to Skippy Longstocking in the Challenger. I know Brad Cox loves this horse, and he runs into Fierceness, last year's Derby favorite, and Fierceness sets a track record in this race. So when you're second on a track record, back in third's Hall of Fame, back in fourth is locked, coming off a win in the Santa Anita Handicap. So this was a really nice second, has exquisite pedigree, and keeps on getting faster.
Don't sleep on Most Wanted, the 7-horse here. We've got the Blame Stakes Grade 3. It's a key prep for the Stephen Foster. And, of course, we've got our team live on site for an amazing weekend of stakes action. All of that happening here. The coverage on FanDuel TV. Anthony Pascal, Gabby Gaudette, Kate and Joe, Andy and Matt taking you through a fun weekend out there at Churchill Downs.